Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I'm grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. Before I talk to you about an embarrassing experience that Lori and I had at an NFL football game recently, let me share a quote with you. This quote comes from Richard John Neuhaus. It says, "Genuine tolerance does not mean ignoring differences, as if differences made no difference." Genuine tolerance does not mean ignoring differences as if differences made no difference. What it means is engaging differences within a bond of civility and respect. Now, all we have to do is look at our political system, look at our news. People are more concerned now about being right than they are being happy, or than they are being civil. Is there a relationship between civil and civility, civilization? Is it true that if we lose our civility, we lose the civilization? What's at the core of it? So recently, Lori and I are at an NFL football game. Back east, we go every year, but there's something different about this experience. And I see a difference that's happening everywhere, not only in our news and political, but in our stadiums, maybe even out in our little leagues, in our football leagues, etc. We're starting to see this vile reaction, this vile participation of we're right and you're wrong. And you're the bad people, we're the good people. And we made the comment, we would not want our grandchildren to be with us at this event. There's no way, it should have been rated R, that we would want them watching grown men, and mostly grown men, spewing vulgarity loudly and targeted at different people, at the players, at other fans, raising their finger in the air, and just behaving badly, very, very badly. We would not want them to see nor hear what was going on there. So what can we do about it? Gordon B. Hinckley has a great quote. It's gratitude is the beginning of civility, of decency and goodness, of a recognition that we cannot afford to be arrogant. Gratitude. As we lose gratitude, we move up the scale. They talk about first we abhor, then we tolerate, and then we embrace. And what was even more disturbing is to see how the fans embraced by laughing, approving by their laughter, approving by not doing anything to the conduct that was going on. So what can we do about that? Can light and darkness occupy the same space at the same time? Yes or no? Absolutely not. Well, how much light does it take to eliminate the darkness? Just a spark. Just a spark. You get enough sparks, you're going to have a wildfire. But we need to have the courage to give the sparks. Well, if Gordon B. Hinckley's right, it begins with gratitude. How can we express gratitude? Can gratitude and envy, can gratitude and hate, can they occupy the same space at the same time? They cannot. So the mistake that we might make is to spew their vulgarity back at them, to try to get them to stop, or in public to do that. But if we can step back and get curious about what's going on in their lives that's causing this and move into a space of gratitude, I believe that that's the light that can be there. And it's up to us as an individual. We can complain about this all day long, but all changing the world starts right here with me. It starts right here with you. How can we be the spark? Be the spark. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.